That highly educated, well-paid women are less desirable to the average man. And I would challenge that to say that most highly successful women tend to find the average man less desirable, thereby rendering them less desirable to the average man. A friend of mine was in a break room at his job the other day listening to a group of successful women talk about what they look for in a man, and all of them pretty much wanted a man who was doing better than them financially, and ideally a man that was doing better than them in every area of life. It was interesting because when he hears men talk about what they look for in a woman, it has nothing to do with her education, nothing to do with her finances, but everything to do with her character, with her beauty, with her ability and willingness to support him and submit to him. The thing about this conversation that we haven't discussed yet is who you become in attaining your success. If you could get the degrees, if you could get the bag, and you could still find yourself humble enough to support and submit to a man, even if he's not making as much money as you, then you don't fall into this category. But what tends to happen is we get the bag and we change the way we look at these men. No man wants to be looked down upon, period. You got the degrees, you got the bag, now you're trying to get the man, but you're coming into the relationship feeling as though you are better than him, and so why would you submit?
What's up, my authentic fam? It's your boy Allende, officially coming at you from the ATL, and I got my homie here, the mindset creator. I'm gonna go ahead and let you tell the people what exactly it is you do, what's your niche, what's your content consist of.
Well, listen, you can find me at the Mindset Coach on all social media platforms. I go by Mindset, May I Never Doubt, self-encouraging techniques. Just learn to speak life in myself in this toxic world, man.
Okay. All right, so, I mean, we was juggling a million topics. I came out here expecting to just interview basically the women, and the way the schedule was working out, that would have conflicted with what we're out here to do, which is throw an amazing show and entertain the ladies, and that's been great. I don't know if you want to recap last night, but it definitely was a fucking movie. Definitely was a movie.
Hey, listen, man, if you ain't have a ticket, you just missed out.
Oh, well, I mean, these are dudes we're talking to, so they wouldn't have been able to come anyway. Okay. But yeah, just know that throwing parties and events for the women is a hell of a gig, man. I think it's probably one of the most fun jobs you could have, especially since, you know, guys like being around beautiful women. We had, what, 150 women to 10 guys last night?
Yeah, something like that.
Talk about abundance mindset, right? But we've been politicking about so many different topics, man. Just building the fellas. Like I said, it's like 10 of us out here, so we've been doing a lot of conversating, sharing a lot of experiences and views, and we were trying to narrow it down to like something that we could talk about real quick. But we did want to talk about or ask the question: are Western women culturally gold diggers? And why are so many guys considering becoming passport bros? And I know that phenomenon is like news to you. It's new to you as someone that's been traveling for so long.
Yeah. So the question is, are they gold diggers? Mm-hmm. I'm going to say all of them are not gold diggers. It's a lot of women that are gold diggers and constantly chasing the bag. Mm-hmm. Chasing money.
Call myself a gold digger because my truth is I'm willing to mine for gold in myself. And anyone who knows me knows I work, I dedicate myself, I'm worthy of trust, I have honor, I back my husband, I back this organization, I back my friends. Like, I dig for gold. I'm constantly self-enhancing and working to improve. I never rest on my laurels. I dig for gold in myself. And when you dig for gold in yourself, you have no problem digging for gold in other people. And the right people will respect and admire you for that too, so.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of them really just want a man that can match their potential. You know, who actually...
Well, they keep saying on my level. So
yeah, on my level. Like, who actually want to mess with some bum person? Like, if you got a bag, you want somebody that can multiply your bag, so why would you want to deal with somebody who gonna put a hole in your bag?
Damn, I like that. Yeah, so this is really tricky. So, you know, I brought him in because he has completely different views on what's popular in the particular area that I'm in YouTube. And it's not that I necessarily align with all of the things that are generally said. I hate the fact that everything's so definitive in this space. Everybody act like it's one way and only this way. Anyway, shout out to my boy Python in the back. Python walking around. We're going to get him on the interview later, guys. So we're going to, you know, that's another authentic alpha right there. So we're going to talk to him probably tonight or tomorrow. But anyhow, so it sounds like you have a completely different argument. I know some guys are like, he's a simp and he's this and he's that. He's pandering to us. Like, are you sure? Because he's doing a lot of big things that dudes either wish they could be doing or don't believe could be done with the ladies. So something that I overheard on a podcast, right? One of the first podcasts I was on, it's a big one, very popular. We all know it. One of the things that was said that was like one of the first things that made me like do it. Wait, what? Was dude said women do not share their resources, and I was like, whoa. And I mean, I'm sitting in the studio, you know, just sitting in on it. I provided all the women, I provided all the guests, and when he said that, it really took me back because it was the opposite experience that I've had. Women don't share their resources. I've had women buy me luxury cars. I've had women give me money to put down on property. I've had women pay off my legal fees. I mean, I'm like, don't share their resources. I'm like, when have I dealt with a woman and she hasn't shared her resources? So I kind of wanted to get your take on that because I know you've had a similar experience as far as what women have access to and how much access they give you to it.
So, I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I'll just say it just depends on the caliber of the man. Because, like, realistically, let's just be real. It's a lot of men out here that's couch potatoes.
Some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver? You. Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. Okay. Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society. I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus, if he was a man of integrity, if he was good to his mama, if he treated me well, I would date
I teach the women how to go get the beau ass, but they want to deal with broke ass, nutting ass, sit on his ass. And some women are naturally nurturers. They'll get a last to a bozo or Tyrone who ain't got nothing, who will drop her off at work, go mess around with another woman while she at work.
Yeah, exactly.
And be late to pick her up.
Use their car all day and don't put no gas in it.
So that's a resource that she's sharing. So for a man to say that, man, be real with yourself. And then as far as a man that's taking care of business like ourselves, it's some women out here, if they have it, they want to invest.
Right. They want to be part of the winning team.
Yeah, because that's what women are. They're natural multipliers. But on the flip side, television and social media have tainted the mind.
Exactly.
What our society does to 19-year-old women or 18-year-old women, 19-year-old women, we just lie to them all the time. You know, the first lie is there's nothing more important than your career, more or less by definition. So that's the first lie. The second lie is there will be nothing more important to you in your life than your career. So that's the second lie. And then the third lie is there should be nothing more important in your life than your career. So that's the third lie.
And the media is the medium between the world and then this thing right here. So it's so many people listening to this rap music, the same ones that's having good marriages at home, but they actually
thinking they missing something.
but the ones that got the good marriages talking about, I don't cook, I don't clean, sit on his face like Maybelline.
Right.
If he ain't got 10 inches to hit your spleen.
They getting paid a lot to us. No, it's facts. They getting paid a lot to us.
They the ones that are selfish. It is some women out here that's some scammers. It is some women out here that are takers. It is some women out here that's just out here for a free meal. I had to learn the hard way. You know, I didn't know that women was just not dating with a purpose. Like in my era, I thought you take a woman on a date, you trying to get to know somebody. No, some of them just really just out there to eat with you, recording your food, and your hand ain't even gonna make the hand ain't even gonna make the
in the
screen.
picture. Yeah, like who's the dude that paid for that room? Who's the dude that brought you on that boat? Who's the dude that paid for that flight? They don't show that. But would you say that part of it is basically the women that these guys choose to deal with? Because I'd say this to women all the time. When women say, like that beautiful sister that I met yesterday, I was trying to push up on, I was like, listen, you know, where's your dude at? She said, oh, I'm single. I said, why are you single? She said, oh, because, these dudes ain't shit out here. I said, let me stop you right there. I said, and I said it in a way that she wasn't gonna resist, my input. I said, are you sure it's not maybe that you choose poorly? I said, let's be realistic. You're extremely gorgeous. I have a hard time believing that men would be rejecting you of any caliber, of any situation or status. So if you having a hard time with dudes, it would reason that it's the dudes that you are picking, that you were given the opportunity to. And she said, yeah, I got to kind of agree with that. I guess there is some truth to that. Because I said, there are good men out there. You just haven't experienced them. So it's who you've been choosing. So I think that it's an equal on the other end, is that it's maybe the women that guys have been choosing, or women that don't share resource, or women that are selfish, or women that are gold diggers, or women that only want material things. I think it's who you choose to deal with. And a lot of dudes, where they find these chicks, Tinder, Instagram, social media. Well, guess what? The most humblest of chicks might not be on Tinder. They might not be on social media, which means you would have to get up off your butt and you would have to actually go find them in the real world, the actual physical world. You might have to get on a plane, right? You might have to go to a particular church, or go to a bowling alley, or go to a Whole Foods. You might need to go to a place where a woman of better moral standing would be.
So I want to add to this. When you was talking about that, it made me just brought something to my remembrance. I often tell people, a lot of times people pickers are off. Like in my city, if you turn to 107.9, you're going to hear rap music. But if you turn to 103.3, you're going to hear some gospel music. Yeah. A lot of people are tuned into a frequency that they're attracting the same caliber person in a different body.
And over again. Exactly.
In a different body. So, like, you may go to Florida, and if you attracted to somebody in a white tee and some Jordans and his pants sagging, and then you getting the same thing, and then you go meet somebody in Cali and you doing the same thing, the definition of sanity is doing the same thing and
different
expecting results.
Yeah.
So the thing is, sometimes your type may not be your type. I'm going to say it again. Your type may not be your type. You may need to switch your type.
Yeah.
Because I know what I'm attracted to, but what I'm been attracted to, flat stomach, big butts, but I need some substance. Now, don't get it wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You should use some discernment, but realistically, what's the substance like? And that's the same thing with these women. But we talking to the men. If you keep on talking about, I'm finding somebody that ain't SHIT, well, what ain't SHIT about you that keep on attracting me?
Remember when Cat Williams said that? He said, what it is about your pussy keep attracting ain't shit niggas. And it's funny you said that, because what did I tell you about ATL when I came out here? Well, I was so happy to finally be back out in the A.
Because the women here are different.
Exactly. I was like, this is the only place where I find, gentle, soft-spoken, feminine, cooperative sisters. But I could easily... Right, I could easily do what they doing in Hollywood, do what they doing in the music industry, and just tell the audience whatever they want to hear and grow my channel huge, just be in this echo chamber. I just keep saying the same thing over and over again. 304s, 304s. These girls are all thoughts. These girls are all gold diggers. Oh, black women have terrible attitudes. They're all masculine. Because that's what the audience wants to hear, because that's the appetite they have. But I'm like, no, that's disingenuous. I'm lying to my audience, because I know for a fact, if I want to find sisters that's going to be a little bit more pleasant, and a little bit more feminine, I know to come to somewhere like Atlanta. And I'm going to find sisters that when they talking, I could barely hear them. I got to get all up close and say, baby, say that again. Because they're not masculine. They're not, abrasive and overbearing, but they're still sisters.
So what do you consider cooperative? You use that word, like...
I mean, when they're not trying to be combative all the time. They're not constantly trying to challenge you. And it's funny, because I'm not saying that women in Atlanta are like somehow perfect or they don't have any of those elements. They do, but they come off a little bit differently with it. Yeah. Like I was talking to the little short, pretty thing last night, and she was like going like this. Her whole neck was like this. I'm like, why are you looking at me like that? And she was like what? And I was like, you don't trust me. She was like, I don't trust nobody. But she wasn't saying it in a combative way. What she was basically saying is, I have my guard up. Yeah. I don't know you. Yeah. Right? But she wasn't giving me that nasty, typical black woman attitude that you would expect to get. So I'm not saying that they don't have some of the same concerns or whatever, but they at least acted out differently is what I'm trying to say.
So I'm going to say it in another way. See, I teach conflict resolution, effective communication, but first self-love. She effectively communicated.
Exactly.
How she was feeling, instead of letting you guess how she feel. A lot of women are just want you to be a mind reader. They want you to guess. You walk them in the house, slam the door. What's the matter, baby? Nothing. or then
Exactly.
they mad at you
For not knowing.
for a week for not knowing. But at least she expressed herself. It's a lot of people dealing with so much trauma and unresolved trauma that they end up bringing drama into their relationship. And that's what we got to get to the bottom of. We got to get to the bottom of that. Because, like, even if it's something inside of you to where your daddy wasn't in your life or your mama wasn't in your life, and then you going out here finding these women, you may have not healed from what your daddy or your mama did, and that frequency keep on pulling in women that are not nurturers or giving or are selfish because your dad was selfish. That's why he left the home. So now you attracting selfish women because you still vibrating on that frequency of unforgiveness of a selfish man that left you and your mama. And the same thing with your mama, so to speak. So, I mean.
No, yeah. I mean, absolutely. I mean, so I do want to get to this question. That way, you know, nobody can say that I'm clickbait or something like that. But because you asked me about the Passport Bros thing, which I thought was interesting, because I'm like, oh, okay, hold on, that's what I deal with, these type of topics. Even though the traveling and dating foreign women is nothing new to me, I've always had a passport since a kid, and you are always out of the damn country. So what is your take? Or first of all, let me ask you, what is your understanding of the Passport Bros? What is your interpretation of it?
Well, the Passport Bros are sick of cantankerous, quarrelsome, combative, angry women who do not want to work as a team, that walk around like they got a chip on their shoulder, always ready to snap on you and mad at you, and that the man can't do nothing right.
She's not younger than
country to go date women who have been groomed to be wives, who are groomed to submit, that are groomed not to say, well, you got to earn my respect. Like you was talking yesterday, I think you said that even if the man is selling oranges, his woman is going to naturally respect or honor him and honor him. In the United States, it's like, well, men are saying, well, he better earn this. And if he trying to go 50-50, he need to earn this. Well, guess what? Finances is not equivalent to respect and honor.
Right.
I mean, not to force Christianity on somebody, but it tell us to love our woman like Christ loved the church, and it tell women to honor us, respect us. Like, keep the love. I don't want to hear I love you, respect me.
Exactly. That's more important for us. See, for women, being loved and desired is more important because it's just what the mechanism is for their success in the dating game, or in the sexual marketplace, or in the reproductive marketplace, which is really what it comes down to. So what makes a man want to reproduce with them is them being desirable. What makes a man want to protect and provide for them is him loving them. Yeah. So that's why it's a key component for them. Now, for a man, what do we want? We want the womb to be exclusively ours, so that we know the children are ours, and we know it's worth the investment that we're making, and it's worth dying for to protect, and it's worth going out there working yourself to death to provide for. And what is that contingent on? Respect, honor, admiration.
A man doesn't care if you love him. He only cares if you respect him.
Let me get this clear. You can't love me if you don't respect me.
No, of course.
Yeah, ain't no love.
He doesn't care if you have money and do things for him. If when you talk to him like he's a child, or you talk to him with a tone that equals disrespect to him. See, women need love. Men need respect and honor. So I don't care how much you do, how much you sex him, how much you give him. If you got a slick mouth and don't know how to talk to him, he'll go find somebody who is not as cute as you, that won't do as much for him, but respects him.
I absolutely 100% agree. A woman has to respect you in order to love you, but she does not have to love you in order to respect you, is what I meant. It's kind of like a square to a rectangle. Every square is a rectangle. Not every rectangle is a square. So I just want to clear that up.
And the thing is people the women, oh, he got to earn it. Well, guess what? If you go to a courtroom, the judge ain't got to earn it. Either you gonna do the right thing or you gonna be in contempt of court. If they say all stand and you decide you want to sit down,
yeah, you go to jail.
Oh, you locked up now, little pretty thing. Oh, okay, right. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. If you go to a classroom and they tell you to do something and you don't want to listen to the teacher, what you going to detention or you gonna get suspended? But if ain't nothing supposed to be higher than a relationship, and then you talking about you want to be married, and you want to give me a preview of a movie that I'm supposed to see, and the trailer really whack, but you telling me that you want me to be your husband, which is the house band, to hold the house together. How can I hold the house together if you acting all wild?
I can't even control you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I be telling dudes, because dudes be talking about dating single moms, and they're like, oh, she won't let me discipline the children. I'm like, whoa. You were not supposed to be interacting with a woman that you don't have any authority over. Whether or not she has children, you need to be able to have authority over her.
He used the word control, but control is just to influence. Like if you look up the word, they'd be like, well, I ain't supposed to be controlled, but control is to influence. So a man should have influence over his woman.
Absolutely.
The moon is a reflection of the sun. So if I'm the sun and she a reflection of me, the problem is some of these women are an eclipse. And I'm going to say it again. The moon is a reflection of the sun. So if man is the sun and woman is a reflection of it, and she not reflecting me, she's an eclipse. She's blocking me from my blessing and detouring me from my destiny.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, a woman could be a distraction or a helpmate. It's really that simple. And I think a lot of it is guys need to understand these things, recognize these things coming in. Because I've said this before, it's always going to be the guy's fault. And the reason why is not because necessarily the guy's in the wrong. It's because if we're at a business, the manager is always wrong because he's supposed to be in charge of his staff. He hired those people. He's responsible for training those people. So whatever their output or their behavior is, their performance, corporate holds him accountable for that. Corporate ain't got time to be talking to every individual associate and employee. They're going to just go ahead and deal with that manager.
Right.
So as the man, whether or not the woman understands that's your role, you need to understand that's your role and sort through the women who also understand that already. Stop trying to change these women's mind. Stop trying to complain to these women. You have to do the work to find the women that are already raised that way. And that's the struggle we're having. I think that's what a lot of the passport bros are trying to do. But the thing I want to say that I have heard some people say, but very few content creators have touched on this key point.
I deserve to have a traditional wife. They want to go be a passport bro. And I'm like, bro, you're fat, you're broke, you don't deserve a traditional wife. You need to level up. The same way they want a traditional girl. The girl, she's going to be way more traditional back in my country. So trust me, she's not marrying you for love, she's marrying you for your green card. So.
Are you against passport bros or?
I understand the fundamentals of it for those who have done everything in life to make sure they are a man. But if you're not a man, I don't think you deserve that, honestly.
And most of them who have touched on this key point have touched on it just to be derogative and to disenfranchise the movement. And that's not what I'm trying to do. I just want to be clear and fully transparent because I have experience with the travel. I've been doing it my whole life. What you have to understand is don't think that you're going to be a lame in America or lame in Canada or lame in Australia and then you're just going to go to some other country and all of a sudden the women are going to bow to you. The women will pretend to. They will hustle the hell out of you because they see you as an easy Vic. Because you're coming thinking that just because you're a foreigner that they're going to respect you. They'll pretend to respect you. So the point I'm trying to make is the same way I've kept telling guys, you got to be that dude. You got to be that dude already before you go out into the world and try to exert your will. You have to develop you first. Stop thinking you're going to go somewhere and it's going to be handed to you. If you're a shitty football player in the States, you're going to be a shitty football player overseas. Granted, you have there's less competition playing sports overseas. If you can't cut it in the NBA or the NFL here, you might can go play for Israel, you might can go play for Japan, you might go play for China, but you still would at least have to play ball. You'd have to at least still have some game. An average dude ain't just going to go over to Japan and play basketball for them. You see what I mean? So, yes, you have better odds over there. Yes, there are more women who are already on that beat, but you would still have to be the dude and bring those masculine traits, qualities, and role. You still got to be in your role, fellas. Is what I wanted to say. But I want you to touch a little bit more on traveling, especially from your personal experience traveling and dealing with foreigners.
Well, I don't really be dating internationally. I mean, I travel a lot, but dealing with them, the level of respect that they give the man is totally different out there. Like, I mean, I have people that I know that date out there, and they like, man, bro, you need to go foreign. I have women that tell me, you need to go foreign. You need to try something different. And, you know, the Bible says a prophet ain't welcome in his own home. That goes in relationships as well. Like, it's the level of gratitude that they have for the simple things. I mean, even you going above and beyond out here and doing things that a woman typically ain't getting, somehow, some way, they become ungrateful because of exposure. And a lot of it has to do with social media because we're so connected, we're disconnected. I'll say it again, we're so connected, we're disconnected. So social media has given people an unrealistic expectation, but being in those third world countries or dealing with somebody in another country, they sweet, they nice. You know, a $5 bill, oh wow, this a lot. Some countries you go to, is one of our dollar is 18, like somewhere in Mexico, or you somewhere.
It's 18, 18 pesos to $1.
Or you in the DR, 21 sometimes. Or if you in Colombia, I don't remember the number. It's so big of a difference.
Yeah, I don't remember either, but it's a big difference. It's like 40 waters.
But watch this. Crazy. That's just money. Just the simple things. Because see here, they got about 20 men in this DM. Tyrone in my DM think I'm pretty. Yeah, they don't get all that.
But here, see, this is the thing. Here, they actually have access to them. In these other countries, the women don't have access. So I want, that's another thing I want to be clear about. It's not so much that the women are so different. It's just the environment is different. Their opportunities are different. Women are limited to what they can do. That's all that it is. And we all know, as soon as you bring them here, it's a whole different ballgame.
They're raised different.
Right.
They're groomed to respect and honor a man.
Right.
Like back in the day, realistically, women needed a man, but they still need a man. It's not just
they just don't know they need them here.
It's just not about finances. Right. It's about a man that's going to cover you, protect you, pray with you instead of pray on you.
That's your job, though.
That's your job to put it.
That's your job to put that into perspective for them. And I think that's what a lot of Western dudes aren't. That's the tricky part that they're not getting, and I think that comes from the fatherlessness, because they don't know how to exhibit these things. There are so many things that people don't know they need until they're shown it. Then they're like, "Oh my God, I didn't realize that much value was missing from my life. I didn't. You can't miss it if you don't know it exists."
Yeah, I agree with that. But then my bonus mom always say, well, you can't expect them to understand what mink is if all they know is rabbit. So you even if you're giving them exposure to something else, sometimes they self-sabotage.
Yeah, they do.
And then they say, well, this is what he trying to get from me. Nothing. It is some men out here that actually care about you. But that's why you got to heal before you deal. Heal before you get in a relationship. These people over here, and I'm not saying I love Americans, but me myself, I get tired of it too. I don't want to argue for nothing.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I think that's an interesting rut that me and you are both stuck in, because we can say all these things that are true, like everything that we just said are true, but neither one of us are actually exercising that option, because you just said you do not date a lot of foreign women. And my girl, and my girl has been here her whole life. She's born in Puerto Rico.
I want an American woman to get yourself together.
Right. So
say, you know what, baby, I messed up. Take accountability for your actions.
Right. But what I'm saying is, it's a different skill set. Yeah. So I'll give you a perfect example. Right. As an entertainer, most entertainers, they get their ass on Amazon and get to shopping for their costume. But because I have the skill set of a tailor, because I have the skill set of an artist, I end up making my own costumes. So what I'm trying to say is, if someone else was inquiring, I would say, listen, get up on Amazon, look here, look there, look there. You might have to look several places. You might have to go on, what is it, what the hell's the name of that? Alibaba, and you might have to wait 3-4 weeks to get it. But that's the advice I would give to someone else, because they don't have the skill set to make their own costume. So I think that's a great analogy for what we're saying with the women and the dating, is giving the best advice to the average man, the average Western man. We would say what we're saying. Like, you might want to kind of go overseas. Get your shit together here and then go overseas. You'll have a better shot. But we both have the skill set to wrestle Western women's mental.
I don't want to wrestle.
I know you don't want to, but hold on. But you have the skill set too, though.
Yeah.
So
the thing is You gotta have another level of patience. I don't know why you keep saying. Why do we call them Western? Because is that what is
Western women?
Is that where we at?
Yeah, the West, England, America, English speaking, basically.
Okay, so I'll just tell you this:
colonized.
It take a lot of patience to deal with American people,
and skill set.
It's not a color. It's not a creed.
It's a culture.
It's a culture. You gotta have patience.
Yeah,
patience is a virtue. And the right woman, she'll show you parts of you that you didn't even know existed.
That'd be nice.
She even show you the areas where you need to fix yourself.
And help you.
She'll show you areas that you say, you know what, dang, man, I didn't know
she's right.
That I will snap when somebody do this. Because it's like a fight. You could shadow box all you want. But you don't know how good you is. If I'm boxing with him and I'm shadow boxing onto him, his big self come in the ring, I ain't know he was going to the left because the shadow box I ain't practiced that with. Until you get into the fight with him, you really don't know what's going on. So, I mean, I don't know. This has been a great conversation, but I definitely will tell you that, I mean, it's some good women everywhere. But if you're looking for a house and you say, I want a 3-bedroom house with 2 baths, it's gonna be 500,000 of them probably pop up. But if you say I want a 3-bedroom house with a sliding board coming off the roof, it may be 1 in every million in the search engine.
But if you have the skill set, you can build it.
Yeah,
if you have the skill set, you can upgrade it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So all we're saying, guys, is try to be realistic. Look at yourself as an individual. It's really not going to be easy anywhere, but like he mentioned, in other places, you will have more viable options. But you still got to be that dude. You can shop for houses all day long, but if you ain't got the money and you ain't got the credit, you ain't getting approved nowhere, no way.
Success increases finances. Looks are a target for younger women. Success is a target for older women. With looks, you can wear less jewelry and designer. Without looks, you gotta wear more jewelry and designer. With success, you increase the chances of marriage. Without success, you increase the chances of having baby mamas.
But you can check him out. I mean, he does this, for the people. He does this for the masses. And, you want to tell them a little bit about your conferences and some of your services, what you got going on?
Listen, man, you can find me on social media at The Mindset Coach, the THE Mindset, MINDSET Coach, like a basketball coach. I host relationship revivals. I host trips. Got a clothing line called Acclamation. This me right here in Mindset, The Mindset Coach. Man, I never doubt self-encouraging techniques. It's all about you, man. I'm big on showing people how to empower themselves. I'm just the mirror, man. I put the mirror in front of you and show you that you could be, do, and have whatever your heart's desire within God's will. You simply must believe to receive or down and go without. The choice is yours. But this man right here, keep following him. This man has a lot of great information, very wise man, very knowledgeable, and this content right here, like, this ain't the beginning. I mean, y'all been following for a while, but I'm saying, like, he actually cares about helping the man. I'm out here dealing with the women. So if he get y'all together and I get these women together, maybe we could bring y'all together so y'all can be together on a trip somewhere, and you ain't got to get a stamp on your passport to go meet somebody, but y'all can get some stamps on your passports together.
Right, and meet some like-minded women, man. I really appreciate that, brother. And one more thing, I'm gonna get to the people you don't want me to get to them. I'm gonna get to them anyway. Man, listen, don't be cheap. Get the consult with this man, because what he ain't advertising to you, what he ain't telling you, is he know how to show you how to travel on a penny. He knows how to build his credit, right? Listen, like I said, hit him up for other stuff like financial stuff. You gonna have to pry it from him, and you have to be willing to pay him for his time. But he got some game on how you get your bank book right, get your credit looking good. So anyhow, it's one of the things I need to work on. So I'm over here like I'm trying to kiss up to him, trying to get some help with that. But we could barter value, get exchange value, man. I help you in the gym or something, anywhere else. But he like to eat extravagantly, man. He ain't never gonna do one of my diets. This motherfucker be eating lobster tail subs. And what are some of the other things you be eating I never heard of before? You gotta go.
Gator. Whatever you want, crab legs.
He traveled just to eat. This dude will fly somewhere just to eat at a restaurant, be on a flight the same night.
Life ain't good until you have some monkey brain.
Who has time to take a first class flight somewhere for dinner and then get their ass back on a flight 3 hours later to fly?
Man, listen, it's 86,400 seconds in a day. If you learn to invest your time wisely, I'm trying to tell you, your reality will become better than your dreams. Bring me back and let's talk about discipline.
Yeah, we'll talk about discipline next time.
Let's talk about discipline next time.
We up out of here, man. Find the man.
Appreciate you.
Check me on the next one. I'm busy with a million things, but I'm gonna get back to making content consistently. I promise. And I'm gonna interview some ladies before I leave Atlanta. I know you guys want to see that. Peace.